Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on YouTube and Facebook Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors, Cornerstone, GRS Installation, Smith and Friends Estate Agents, Advanced Utility Solutions, Dovecot, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Heroes and Legends, Advanced Utility Solutions, Alta Build and TGM Cars. Well, last night we played Sheffield United. Chris Wilder returned to the Riverside. I have to be honest, I never really heard him getting a poor reception, didn't hear anything really. But the team was, and finally sanity prevailed. McGree was back in the team, hallelujah. And I personally thought that Latif would start and Azaz would be on the bench. But anyway, the team was Dieng, Borges and Ayling were the fullback, Van der Berg and Edmondson were the two centre-backs. On the left, we played McGree. As I say, finally he started the game. Brilliant. Doak on the right. Hackney and Morris, Azaz and Conway. That was the starting 11. And on the bench was Bryn, Dick Steele, Latif, Balaza Clark, Berzog, Jones, Howson and Hamilton. Was a game for me, Borough had to win. After getting beat down at Watford, after getting beat with Bristol, we had to bounce back, and we achieved that. We battled and scrapped for everything. Their keeper had a few good saves. We had a couple of good shots. McGree in particular had two good shots. Keeper parried. But it was substitute Latif. It was sort of a macaroni style. Remember macaroni in the semi-final of the UEFA Cup, flying header. It was that kind of idea. But the ball, it was a good ball for Azaz. I personally thought we'd have took him off, but he stayed on. Put in a great ball. He hit the space rather than hit Latif. And Latif ghosted in, header, great finish. And that was about the 80th minute. And that was it. But I thought we deserved it. And it was a great 3 points. A much needed 3 points. It boosts morale and confidence getting into Sunday's game against Norwich City. But it was good. Fans came away happy with the work rate, the endeavour, the creativity. And we had a go. I thought we deserved to win. I thought Doak was terrific on the right. Just typical Doak. Don't forget he's 21. He's on loan. He's going to be a big loss when he moves or when he gets back to Liverpool. Direct again, skillful, creative, cause mayhem. The only thing I would say is, now I know how we could just say we won and that's it, but I'm one of them that likes to look at positives and negatives. I'm balanced. I was like, as a player, if I scored 3, I'm thinking the 2 I missed just as much as I thought of the hat trick. That's the way my thinking process is. But I watched last night. Every time the ball came Ayling, 33-year-old, Doak's there, whippersnapper. There you go. Here, have it. He looked at Doak, God knows how many times throughout the 90 minutes, turned and played it inside. I read one quote today for some so-called, journalist. Don't know what his journalism is. If it was football, he's raving about Ayling, he shut the fans up because he's kick off the line. He's there to do that. But the other thing he has to do is give Doak the ball. And they neglected Doak. And it was frustrating to watch. I don't know if Doak's a quiet kid. I think they think so. Coming from north of the border and playing with Liverpool. I don't think he'd be shy in any way, shape or form. But he has to start telling Ayling, despite him being an elder statesman, I want the ball. The prime example for me was Bolo Zenden played outside left. Then Stewie Downing broke into the Middlesbrough team. Don't forget, I watched every game. Still do, but then I was doing the commentary with the late Gary Allen Brownlee. And what would happen? I don't know, my dogs are tap dancing out there. Can't concentrate. What happened? Downing went to the left. Bolo moved in one. And Bolo Zenden could have neglected him because he's an experienced international player, old head. But he never. Every time he get the ball, first train of thought, there you go, Stewie. There you go, Stewie. Spoon fed him. Now, Ayling did not spoon feed Doak last night. Watch it. Watch 90 minutes. He must have 90% neglected him. Not good enough for me. I know I'm nitpicking, but if we want to go forward and we want to create more chances, Ayling, forget this cutting inside rubbish. Get it out your feet. Turn. There you go. Give it to Doak. Let him do the rest. I think it's basic, but it's something that I picked up last night and thought, wow, it's incredible how he kept neglecting him. Opening out and play it. Instead of that, every time he got it, his body shape was facing inwards, which meant he went inwards. But for me, that it's cherry picking and nitpicking, if you like. But I still think it's vitally important because at the minute, Doak and McGree are back in the side. They're giving us a bit of balance. I thought McGree was very good last night. He's been out for, well, he's played, what, 3-4 games this season? 4 games he's played this season. It so happens to have won 5 of them. He's played in 4 of them. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Hi, Bernie. Great result last night. You said Latty Laugh was going to start scoring again. Look, I would have started Latty Laugh last night. I wouldn't have started Azaz. It's easy. No, it's not easy after the event. I'm telling you my gut instinct. I heard that I heard Azaz got man of the match. Is that right? I didn't watch the television, but if he got man of the match, he couldn't have counted the first 4 balls he passed because the first 4 balls went astray. And if you don't score goals as a forward, you'll eventually be out the team. So like this running about and passing the ball and creating's a big thing as well as a forward, but you need to score goals. And Latty Laugh back in trail. Hopefully that kick starts his campaign. And that's his first goal in open play, but he scored 2. Conway's got 2, but Bazog's got none. Azaz has got none. And they need to roll up their sleeves and their socks and start going and start getting amongst the goals. Because we're the 3rd lowest scorers in the division. But that says it all, doesn't it? We've scored a goal a game. So I think it's 11 goals and there's about 4 teams on 11 goals. 1 on 9, 1 on 8. But we're 3rd bottom scorers in the division. And that's a start, not an opinion. McGree was the only player I wanted the ball to fall to outside the box. McGree done well last night at Scott 94. Great to see McGree. Gives you a bit of balance. He's confident. The lads seem to get a confidence when he's in the team. And yeah, he walked his socks off. He created things. He had a couple of shots on target to keep it parried away. But we still have to be more ruthless in the goal, in and around the goal. There was a couple of balls went across the box. Not anticipating, on my toes, maybe flat-footed. But hey, I thought we deserved the one. I thought Sheffield United, they'd only be beat once in 10 games coming into last night, and that was against Leeds on Friday. And we went in typical Borough fashion, we turned them over, like we did going to West Brom. West Brom had not conceded a goal when we played them a few weeks ago. We go down there to the Hawthorns, and we create about 4 great chances. We score 1 and we won. That's typical Borough. Timmy Lee says, back from the sun, Bernie. Last night it was far better. It was, Timmy. Last night was far better. That's what we want. We want a bit of endeavour, creativity, work rate, work ethic, and getting in amongst them. And we did that last night. Every man stood up, we counted, and we did the business. I bet you're like a Greek god now, Timmy. Liza Coates says, Macaroni, the best thing since donut is Stocksley Fair. Macaroni, yeah. Macaroni, he scored a few goals, important goals, but unfortunately, the final, we all went missing. Hi Bernard, great to see Latty last score last night. Just hope this builds his confidence to start scoring more goals, Colin Fryer. Well, that's what happens. He's had a jolt with getting put on the bench. He's come off the bench and scored and did the business. We needed a goal. We needed to take all 3 points, and he's achieved that. So, well done to Latty Laugh, and hopefully, as I say, that kickstarts him. I don't see why you shouldn't. Goals breed confidence, not just to you as an individual, but to your teammates. As I say, the midfield, every time they're battling and scrapping defensively and the defenders are trying to keep it out, they eventually look in front of him and think, come on, get us off the hook here, get us a goal. David Longstaff says, would you keep the same team versus Norwich? I'll be honest, I would play Latty Laugh and Conway. That would be my front 2, number 10 and the man up front. I don't get the character fixation. I don't get character fixation with Azaz. I don't get it. I never seen the man of the match performance last night. I've nothing against the lad. He's a good kid. He's honest. He's an international player. He works his socks off. But for me, he still takes one touch too many. Not scored a goal. For me, that would be an indication. Latty Laugh scored. I think Latty Laugh deserves to be in the team. Why? Because he scored a goal. You can say Azaz created it, but if you've not scored in 11 games, eventually you're going to get dropped. Inevitably. Unless you're a blue-eyed boy and for whatever reason you're in the team. And I know managers favour certain players and sometimes you can't see as to why, but they do. I've seen it firsthand. Still having more shots than the village drunkard. Got to put them away, but great performance last night. Stephen Horn. Yes, Stephen Horn. So Stephen's obviously happy. Yeah, we're getting chances, but we need to start scoring maybe 2 a game. We can't keep getting away with the 1. We need to score a couple. And other players that I've mentioned have to score goals. So would you keep the same team in a long-winded? Well, I've just said that I would still start like Laugh. He's got the goal. Conway's back now, fit. He can take off last night, as did McGree, but I'm sure that's looking forward to Saturday. So yeah, I would only make the one change. I'd keep Dock for definite, McGree for definite, Morrison, Hackney, Borges, Ayling. Do you know what? Ayling, look, he's great professional footballer, 110%, good tackler, reads the game well, gets something down. He has delivered a few quality crosses this season, but he's stopping the progress of Dick Steele. Dick Steele's been here for a few years. He's been out on loan. He's been here, there, and everywhere. Played brilliant against Leeds. Come in another game, out again. What about giving the boy a chance? He's a young lad, fitter than Ayling, faster than Ayling, more direct than Ayling. Don't forget the goal he cut in Leeds and had a shot. But Ayling, 33 years of age, is stopping the progress of Dick Steele. He's took his time, Dick Steele, and come to the fore, but I think he's a better fit. And I'm sure he would give Doak more of the ball than Ayling does. As I say, Carrick should be telling Ayling, every time you get the ball, give him the ball. Don't look inside. Don't want it going to Edmondson or Van der Berg. I want you to give it to Doak. Every time Doak. And Doak should be moaning like mad at him. It's not being disrespectful to the elder statesman. He's 21, he's 33. He's been round the block, he hasn't. But this kid is the biggest outlet and most exciting, entertaining player we've got. Apart from McGree. Great 3 points, Bernie, but like yourself, still too tippy-tappy passing, still not penetrating enough for me. Graham Addison. Graham, do you know what? In the opening 15 minutes, Dieng played a ball again. Hospital ball, meaning somebody's going to get injured and end up in the hospital. Suicidal ball, you pass it down the middle, almost get caught again. Everybody was like, oh, here we go again. Then we shook it off and then we played better. They were good at passing. They could hit long diagonal balls over the top. They mixed it a lot. We could maybe learn a wee bit off them as well, despite us beating them. And how pleasing was it beating Chris Wilder's side? Edmondson get man of the match. Oh, it was Edmondson. Somebody told me it was Azaz, and I was thinking, I've never seen that. Edmondson done well. But don't forget, Edmondson walked in the team. Clapp just got nudged out of the team. Not because he was playing badly, but I thought the big man was playing well. So Big Edmondson didn't work for his position. He was handed it. Obviously, he was brought in. Wasn't much playing out from the back last night. Do you think the penny has dropped, Stephen Horn? No, I still think it will creep in. I don't think you can do it for 3 years under Michael Carrick, same as a lot of clubs, and then just disregard it and put it aside. It's ingrained into us. But this pass at the back, when the players are asked to play it forward, that's when they get cut out. I mean, there was a few. The result clouds a lot of things. Some of the balls first half were poor. Despite my work rate, my energy and up for it was brilliant, some of the forward balls were poor. But as I say, the 2 fullbacks must feed the wingers. Left back, Borges, must give it to McGree. Ayling, I've said it throughout since we started this. David Lonsdale says, shout out to Edmondson, he was a rock at the back. Great off the line clearance by Ayling up the effing borough. Yeah, Ayling got the praise and rightly so, brilliant defender, but that's what he's there for, he's a defender. And a supplier to the players that can play. Most defenders can't play. Most defenders are hammer throwers. They're not there to please the crowd, they're there to kill the game. Smother opponents. Kick opponents. People forget that. Defenders are not there to entertain and please the crowd. They're there to kill, stifle the opposition, smother the opposition. And that's why they're defenders. If they're good players, they move up the park. The good players move up the field, into midfield and up the front line and on the wings. They're the entertainers. Michael Webster, hello Big Webber. Azaz is scared to shoot by the looks of it. Does a lot of good things, but too many touches in the box. Less turns, more shooting. I agree, Webber. As I say, Azaz will get the ball. He done it again last night. He does it every game. He get the ball, and what if he's going to shoot? He might have an opportunity to shoot. Then he feints it, and he comes away, and then somebody will go to block it, and he'll take another touch, and then he hits it. And by that time, the opportunity's gone. It's shut down, and somebody gets a block on it. Happens time and time again. His idea should be, I'm sure he'll know it in hindsight, but he said 11 games to do it. When the ball's coming in, have a scan, see where the goal doesn't move. Should know where the goal is. But get out your feet, turn, see who's behind you. If nobody's behind you, out your feet, shot. Or turn and shoot. He needs to get shot off earlier. He needs a goal. Edgar Andy says, happy as Larry. Larry who? Larry Grayson. What was Larry Grayson's catchphrase? Remember Larry Grayson? Some boy him, wasn't he? It was Azaz who nearly cost us a goal, but he only had to clear it off the goal line. All right, okay. As I say, Azaz's first 4 or 5 balls were awful. One, he hit the first man, and then he gave 3 away, and that was all in succession. I'm not picking. I'm just saying, if it was left to me, I'd say, Latty Laugh, going into Saturday, Latty Laugh, you scored, great goal, son. As you made the ball, but you're on the bench. You've not been scoring, doing well, good in the eye, but hey, you need to contribute. If I work at the bar, behind the bar, which I wouldn't, behind the bar, serving drink, if I don't serve any alcoholic drinks, I'm not doing my job. If I work in the bakers and I'm not making any pies or cakes, what am I doing? You need to produce. Wingers have to provide service into the box. Midfielders must defend and create and chip in me a few goals. Front men must score goals. Defenders and goalkeepers try their damnedest to keep it out. It's fairly straight-laced. It's not rocket science, although some people in the modern game would make you believe that football's like rocket science. Hopefully Azaz will bring a new dimension with a bit of confidence with the assist to Latty. Frustrating up to now, but Steve Daly, yeah. Look, he's obviously a good footballer. And he doesn't hide. At times he does look a frustrated figure within himself. He'll be thinking like us. He's not scored a goal. Must get to you. Got to me. I says the other night, and I says it in the Legends Lounge last night, which I host. My goal ratio was 1 every 2.5. I went 10, like Azaz, 10, 11 games, never scored a goal. I was down the dumps. I couldn't get my head up. I was frustrated. I was poor. And then it was down to the manager to stroke my ego, get me back on track, and then I was away again. So we all hit that, but it'd be nice for somebody that's hit that patch to tell us, as listen, I've been through it. I don't think, well, Carrick didn't score goals now at Woodgate, but somebody, Latty Laugh, well, it was Latty Laugh, not in his time at Borough. In the past, he might have had barren spells with a lot of games, but somebody has to pull Azaz and say, listen, you'll get back on track, you'll get a goal, I've been through it. And a lot of the coaches now, other knowledge, well, obviously playing knowledge, but different positions. If it was down to defending, I know a bit about defending, but I never played defender, so I would rather a defender talk to me about my defensive game, whereas a forward, I would rather a forward player who's went through, rather than out a book. Bernie, masterclass from Carrick. Bring on Latty Laugh. Morgan Littlefair. Masterclass. Away, man. Masterclass. Hey, look, managers live and die with decisions. He put Latty Laugh on it and changed the course of the game. But for me, Latty Laugh should have started. People have been saying, oh, he's not been the same player, head turned. I don't buy into all that. Latty Laugh's still been working hard, still got a great work ethic. Had a few shots off just like Azaz and not scored, but that's him on 2 now, so hopefully that's him away. Richard Matt Atwood, is it? Still not convinced by Dieng. What is your thoughts, Bernie? Richard, Dieng, I'm no goalkeeping expert, but as I say, goalkeepers are there to save the ball, not to play fannying about the back football, and that's what Dieng, it comes for Dieng. But saying that must come for Carrick. Carrick has always been quoted as saying that he won't change, and I admire his stubbornness. But it could backfire. It did backfire against Bristol. We let 2 awful goals in. You would see on a Sunday morning when the lads had a few drinks. But we'd done it again early doors last night, and we looked nervy. We were going to be nervy. We knew how important last night's game was. And to take chances 15 minutes into the game, we were looking for trouble again. Different player, Latty now with his new shiny green boots. Scott 94. Yeah, Scotty came out last night. If you didn't see Laughy Laugh, had nicer luminous. I'm sure if you turned the floodlights off, they'd have been glowing in the dark. They were like luminous boots. But hey, when you score goals like that, you can wear whatever boots you want, can't you? I'm delighted for Laughy Laugh. This is a hard time. And obviously not getting the move. Everybody was out the bag that he was wanting away, and the club will want him out and cash in, and it never happened. But last night, fans were right. Well, they signed his name, weren't they? Colin Fry says Norwich are free scoring at home, and we will need a performance like we did away to West Brom. Oh, I'm sure we will, Colin. But we went to West Bromwich Albion, hadn't conceded a goal at home. Amazingly, we made 4 great chances and scored 1 and beat them. So why can't we go to Norwich? I remember Norwich, was it last year, year before? McGree, one of my favourites, scored a wonder goal there. Do you remember it? Came in for the right. Did they hit it in the volley? A half volley. Oh, what a goal it was. Get it on YouTube. Raylan McGree, Norwich. I think it was last year, year before. A big name in midfield needs to be dropped. Maybe Hackney, McGree is the number 10 role. So a big, this is for Chris 87. A big name in midfield needs to be dropped. Maybe Hackney, McGree. Well, Hackney scored 2 great goals. So for me, Hackney, it was under scrutiny for me. I thought, Hackney, hey, you're not doing it. And Morris is getting plaudits, and Hackney's been around a while now, although he's still a relatively young lad. But then Hackney bounced back, scored 2 great goals. So Hackney's in the team for me in merit. And McGree, number 10 role. I think McGree would be a superstar number 10. I think he's a great player, but I think he'd be even better in the number 10 role. But for whatever reason, Carrick's never gave him that opportunity. Ian Bernie, hiya, Mr. What is it? Mr. T and 2 Sugars, great name. Tea and 2 Sugars. I have a tea, no sugar. Chris Evans said, Peter says Azaz was good last night, but aside from the assist, he was awful. Who would you play number 10? I've just mentioned it, Chris Adamson. Chris McGree. I look at the team now, but I'm thinking McGree tucks in one, or into number 10 role. Who goes left wing? Hamilton still, he really shows what he's got. Could Foz play there? Could Jones play there? I know Jones is right, but wingers can change over. So we've got a few possibilities in the left. I still don't think McGree's an out-and-out left winger, but in that number 10 role, I think he'd be a star. I really do. I'd love to see him given an opportunity, but as yet, for whatever reason, he's never had that opportunity. Our keeper at the minute is a liability. A change is needed. Steve Daly. Steve Solbrins, local lad, Borough lad. I think he signed a new contract recently. He's been on loan here, there and everywhere. I'd love to see him given an opportunity. As I say, I want my keepers to be good goalkeepers, good with their hands. Not really bothered about the feet. I know that's the modern, that's the buzzword. No, they have to be good at the feet, they have to be good at the back. But we're not very good at it. It's even last night, after what happened against Bristol. Last night was a must-win game in my opinion, and we still messed about opening 15 minutes. No need for it. Never ever play it there in the middle. If you're going to play it short, play it left or right to the fullback. Never ever play it there. That is just looking for trouble. And we've had to a fair share of it. Ailing saved us from going 1-0 down. And if we went 1-0 down, we might have lost. He did, Les, but that's his job. When hey, it was a great clearance. He busted a got it off the line. He's not the quickest, but he certainly did his defensive duties, which he's paid to do. But the other thing he's paid to do is give the young lad Doak the ball. Yes, Bernie, try Jones on the left wing. That would be amazing. Pace down both flanks and tricky. Yeah, so McGree, number 10. Jonesy on the left, Doak on the right. We can alternate and switch over accordingly throughout the game, depending on how they're getting on against their opponents. I think that was what a dream. So Ailing did save it, but come on. What saves you is goals. And the goal came from Laughy Laugh. McGree could be Borough's Maradona at number 10. Who's that for? Maradona away at. Hey, Steve Horn. I think you're on the horn. I think a good woman you need. No, listen. McGree is never going to be a Maradona, but McGree's a very good player. And I do think he'll be very good. I know it's tongue-in-cheek. I agree about Dick Steele needs a decent run in the team, Steve Daly. Yeah, but Dick Steele's a younger lad, a fitter lad, quicker. Pace in the modern game is a big thing. Ailing unfortunately not got it. He's 33. But I say the thing about Ailing last night, by God, if I was on that side as a fan, I'd have been shouting, "Give Doak the ball!" Every time we get the ball. His body. When Edmondson or Vandenberg and they're looking to Ailing and they're sitting off, let it run across his body and play it to Doak. Because Doak's coming deep on the right side, hugging the line. Give him it, let him do the rest. Give him a backing and support. But his body shape was inwards. I don't know if he's comfortable letting it run across his body. But it was so obvious last night. And it happened right throughout the game. Give him the odd ball, but dear me. He must have cut inside if he had 100 touches, 95 was cut in. Have a look at it. Don't needs to what an end product. Colin, yeah. Don't forget, 21. He's only been here. Played about 6 games, not even that. He scored the goal. He's created goals. His final delivery still could get better, without a doubt. I'm sure the kid knows that. But I'm not going to get on his case for that. He's on loan. He's caught the eye of a lot of people. I'll tell you what, Wilder was, he was really concerned. When it was still 0-0, second half, he doubled up on them, second half. Because he was a constant thorn on their side. I put Dick Steele for sure at right back, pace and can overlap for Chris 87. Is it 87? Yeah, I'm not against Ailing. I'm giving my opinion. Ailing's 33. Dick Steele's more of the future. Dick Steele, he's of age now. We know his qualities. We know his deficiencies. But it's what you want. It's what you want. I would give Dick Steele a chance. Without a shadow of a doubt. I'd get him in there. I don't know what's the contract situation where, you hear all this, it's in his contract, he has to play every game. Surely, goodness, that doesn't happen in the modern game. Players demand to play every game. Steve Daly says, what's this bullshit with the keeper kicking out? Pass the keeper, pass back, panic, launch it forward. Why piss about? I call it fanning about. Just launch it initially. Steve, I've said that before. Especially Bristol, we're getting beat 2-0 and we're messing about the back. We pass it, we make 6-7 passes, and we've did this throughout. 6-7 passes, then we launch it. Well, why not just launch it from the off? Why are we taking 7 touches? We're 2-0 down, messing about the back, then we launch it. That's bonkers as well. Don't get it. But listen, we won last night. Let's try and... Hey, you're entitled to say what you want, and I'll try and answer you, give my opinion. But we won last night. We're talking as if we get beat. Last night was a professional performance, good performance, gritty performance, scored a great goal, great ball line, great header, Latty Laugh. Latty Laugh's batting song. We get 3 points to the board. We go to Norwich Sunday. So, we're looking good again. But fans should stop getting on the high horses. I come on here and give my opinion, as I always will, and always be as honest as I can and forthright. But I never get too carried away. Per game, give my opinion, say my bit. Whether it's critical or praise, say my bit, move on to the next game. Just calm down. People, if we win a game, we're going to be in the top 6, we're going to get promotion. You get beat 2-0, we're getting relegated, we're garbage, blowing up, carriage. Not a rubbish. Keep your powder dry, calm down. Each game, have an opinion, but don't get too overcritical or too much praise. Great header and movement from Latty Laugh and great ball from Azaz. Do you think he starts Sunday? Doak is only 18, Bernie. It's only 18, wow. Why was I saying 21? Well, 18 then. 18 or 21, he's still relatively young, new to us. We know he's on loan. What a hole that's going to be if Liverpool were to call him back. Right away we go. Well, Jones is there, obviously. Yeah, I say I would play Latty Laugh Saturday, but I don't think it will happen like that. Richard, the 2 shots at Dieng, I thought he should have caught both and nearly parried both the outcoming players. Yeah, that's fair opinion. Shut that door. As for the lad Grayson come up and that says Larry Grayson, and he had a catchphrase. I don't even know the name of the show. I don't think I watched it, but I knew who Larry Grayson was, and he used to always say, "Shut that door." Thanks for that, Les. I think he also says, so yeah, okay. Anyway, Chris Adamson says, do we ever have a striker coach? Last I heard, Ledbetter was working on set pieces and finishing with the forwards. I don't get it. You've got goalkeeping coaches all over the country. Well, I do get it. It's because the goalkeeping coaches have what they call a certificate, a badge, coaching badge, whatever. But they don't have a goal scoring one. The last one Middlesbrough had was Steve Round, who went on to Arsenal. I don't know where he is now. He's not at the Arsenal now. And he worked with some of the best strikers we've ever had. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Matt Viduka and Yakubu. And Steve Round had never scored a goal in his life, was a defender in his professional career, and here he was taking the three of the best strikers around. Bonkers. Bonkers. If I was at Middlesbrough as a goal-scoring coach, all my advice and lectures would have been to Macaroni about getting into positions, keeping your cool and calm. I watched Macaroni. I don't think Macaroni's a great finisher. He was still relatively young. But we went to Tottenham and they missed 3 1-on-1s. He was lasting at the ball. He was using his laces. He wasn't putting the brakes on. There was loads of things. I've been in similar positions. So my knowledge would have come up my head as to when I played and what I did with the ball in those positions as opposed to out a book. But yeah, I don't know how many goal scoring coaches. Robbie Keane was one at Middlesbrough. He was one. But again, did you see your man for Forest? Did you see him doing the business when Robbie Keane was in? That lad that went to Turkey selling kebabs, you know who I'm talking about. It's such a good squad to choose from. I'm sure he's still he doesn't know his first team yet, Carrie. I bet the wage bill is high now in the squad. That's for Chris and Kevin Thompson says, up the Borough, it's not how you start a season, it's how you finish. Of course it is. What's the old saying? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it is. 46 league games, a lot of games, winter months, suspensions, injuries. Carrick, I don't think Michael Carrick does know his first team. Somebody asked me earlier, I'll just fire onto this. I know there's loads coming in, I'll read these later. Somebody did ask me and I gave, I written this down. So it was Jenny, lady says, Bernie, everyone fit, what would your starting 11 be? And I wrote them down. Dieng in goal, I know I said Brennan, but we should put Brennan to waiting Dieng up with this messing about the back. Borges, I don't think I've got another left back at the minute. Dick Steele on the right. It'd be Edmondson, Van der Berg, Big Clark, Van der Berg, but Van der Berg would be number one centre half. On the left, McGree, Doak would be on the right. I know we say put McGree number 10, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm trying to think my best team with what the manager's going to do. Morrison, Hackney, and Conway and Latif, that would be my starting 11. The more I see Dieng worried, he seems very shaky. We need to try Bryn. It's up to, looking shaky. Yeah, well, he gave a couple of goals away on Saturday. He played a part in them as well against Bristol. But doesn't it fill you with confidence? When the keeper gets at Dieng, the players in front know that he's going to take chances and risks because that's the way they've been brought up. That's the DNA of Middlesbrough now. That's the DNA of every team, irrespective of division and quality you've got at your disposal. Everybody's trying to do it. It's about time some manager, coach, thought outside the box and thought, you know what, every team does that, I'm not doing it. And we've not got the quality to do it without conceding a goal or two. So I'd like to see it just bend. Get it, the best ball in the game, I've says it, again, I'll go back to Ayling. Ayling did a couple of times try to play up the flank and it went out the park early doors in that first 15 minutes. But the best ball, if it goes left and right and they can't give it to Doak and company, bypass Doak, just put it down the line, beyond Doak, whip it in within the sideline, whip up the park and let the forward, Latif or whoever's there, pull out and go and get it. That's the best ball for me. If you don't know, you can't play it there, hit it beyond him and let the forwards drift outside. Scissor kick from McGree, watched it a few times. Yeah, good scissor kick, but what about I don't know what the kick was. Man City, Big Haaland. I don't know what kind of kick it was. It looked like something out of a David Carradine movie, Kung Fu. At the weekend, balls come over. I don't even know how he got to it. It just looked, I don't know what it was like. His whole body shape was at a sink, and somehow he's back to the goal, and he's foot's away up here, and he's put into the corner of the net. It's astonishing goal. I mean, scissor kicks, backward flicks, whatever. I done one against Sunderland, one against Sheffield United. Both went in. Did it? I know the goal was yes. Did I mean to put it where they went? No. There's an element of luck, but when they go in, they look great, don't they? I remember hitting one against Sunderland, the rivals, the enemy up the road, and the ball, it was a night game at Ayresome Park. The ball came 18 yards out, and I knew there was somebody behind me, and I just did the overhead kick, and as I turned round, as I'm lying and I turned round, big Gary Bennett, there was the goals, and big Gary Bennett was here, and he was 6'4", and they went right in the top corner. Did I mean it? Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't. So Trevor Charles says, good evening, Bernard. Quiz question regarding coloured boots. Only black boots were worn for years. Who was the first player in English football to wear different coloured boots, and what colour were they? I'll have a guess, Trevor. I know it's not, we're on a quiz show, but was it George Best? And if it was, were they purple? I remember seeing boots. George Best. I was only a kid. I'm sure they were purple. I might have the wrong player in the wrong colour, but that's my first train of thought. I'll tell you who I interviewed today talking about boots, and we were talking about them. I was interviewing David Hodgson for my podcast. I'll be coming out down the line. And obviously David Hodgson played with Craig Johnson, and I was reflecting on the Predator boots that Craig Johnson was involved in. And Hodgie was more or less saying he always thought outside the box. He was taking pictures and all that, professional pictures with models and all that, even when he was at Borough. He had a camera. Some people never heard of a camera at that time. He had a camera taking pictures, and he was always one of them. And he says that if there was one player that deserved to make the grade and do as well as he did, was Craig Johnson. Because don't forget, when Craig Johnson arrived in Teesside, I interviewed Craig at his home in London many years ago. It's actually one of my podcasts, YouTube, whatever. That was years ago in London. And I remember Craig saying that Jack Charlton, Craig had paid his own airfare to come over for a trial all the way from Australia. Big thing in those days. Comes over, Jack watched him and says, listen, I think, did he call him Aussie? Whatever he called him. Brew, Aussie, whatever. He says, you will never be a footballer as long as you get a hole in your ass. That was the words that Big Jack used to Craig Johnson. Obviously, Jack got that one wrong. Evening, Bernie. Hiya, Nathan. Trevor. Alan Ball, white boots, he gets slated for it. All right, okay, so it was Alan Ball. About your superior knowledge, Trevor, but I'm sure George Best had purple boots out. But I always thought, when I played, I told you I went into the, where was it? I went into the shop in the town. My mind's gone, man. It's all these different dates and times not to doing these things. Anyway, went into the shop, the proprietor says, look, you've got £80 chitty off the club, what pair of boots you want? Jack Hatfield's it was, Jack Hatfield's in Middlesbrough, it's no longer there. What about these boots, Douglas King, Sarada? And I had a chitty for £80. And I says, no, I want the ones, and it was Nike, and they were £25 or something. And the proprietor's gone, but no, they're £80, you've got £80 there. I says, no, I'll have the 25. I says, oh, at the end of the day, it's not the boots, it's what's inside the boots. And I've always agreed with that. But in my day, predominantly were black boots. Nobody really wore anything different. In the modern world, if you wear a different colour boot, I think you really have to be good. But you're attracting attention right away, so it'd be your movement. Colours blue and green and yellow. I had a pair of those Craig Johnson football boots. Stephen Horn saying, yeah, the Predator. I remember talking to him about it, and he was saying that some kids had asked him that had went to Craig Johnson's door while he was in London and says, listen, Craig, we know you've played, could you coach the kid run about? And he says, yeah. And this kid kept complaining that he was hitting balls when it was wet and he kept sliding. And Craig, I'm sure Craig told me, it might be out there, that, do you know the table tennis bats? You know the wee dots on the table tennis bats, the rubber? He got that and put it round the boot, stuck it on, he gave him a grip, and that's where he got the idea for the Predator. That's coming from Craig Johnson's mouth. As I say, you'll be able to see it if you go on and trace it. I interviewed him many years ago. Steve McGill says, Edmondson Classic act last night. Him and Rav looked very good together. Well, the two of them didn't look very good together on Saturday. They did last night, and well done for that. But on Saturday, they were rocky, shaky, looked out of sync, gave the ball away for the first goal. Well, they're in that position, the two centre halves. They didn't split, stayed together. I think Hackney was in there as well. And then the second goal, messing about. So, praise last night without a doubt. Saturday, they weren't as good. Carl Atley, hiya Carl, hello Bernie mate. I was at the match last night, so glad to get the win. And what a goal. I thought it was well deserved. I did, Carl. You know me, I'm a straight talker. First 15 minutes I thought, oh, here we go again. We look hesitant, bit nervy. That's to be expected. The lads must have knew the pressure was on last night. The boos were ringing round half-time and full-time on Saturday. I think Matt Clark should be in defence. Chris, well, Matt Clark never lost his position. It was given up. You know, Carrick handed it to Edmondson. Big Clark will just need to bite the bullet and hopefully gets another chance. I'm sure he will. But yeah, I thought we deserved it, Carl, without a doubt. After that initial 15 minutes, we started coming into it. We started creating things. We worked all over the pitch. As I say, Doak could have got more of the ball to cause more havoc. Should we be playing two up front? Should we be playing two up front? As we have Doak supplying balls into the box. David Baker, hiya David. Thanks for that shot, David. Great, fits like a glove. You're right, that other guy wouldn't have fitted too heavy. I would like to see some coach out there playing two up front. Everybody's playing in number 10. Everybody plays defensively. Every play in the box defensively against. Every team and manager, coach changes the teams up when it comes to cup competition. I wish somebody was different. We're no different for the rest. I personally would love nothing better to see two up top, two wingers, two midfield. I don't know what this fixation is. They're just following everybody's sheep like, oh, he does it, let's all do it. Don't get it. Don't get it. Mike Flanagan said, hi Mike. Doak, a real handful. Shame that 9 out of 10 of his balls in the box, nobody was on the end of them. He did enough throughout the match for the players to realise that was going to happen. That's a fair point as well. Doak, a lot of the balls are daisy cutters on the floor. And when they whip them in, nobody gambles across the near post. I says this on Saturday, Bristol, and last night. When the ball gets whipped in, gamble across the near post. That means you get in front of the goalkeeper. You might get a touch on it. You might let it go under your legs and get the keeper off balance. And it might go to a teammate to put it in the back of the net. Sometimes Doak's ball is not great, but sometimes the forwards make it look worse than it actually is because they're not anticipating. They're caught flat-footed. The Generation Game is hosted. He hosted. Oh, dear me. Well, Leslie, get off that subject, boy. Steve Daly says, unless we can find a consistent, confident attacking team, we will be nowhere near playoff place. Plus, a consistent goalkeeper. Yeah, I agree with that as well. 4-4-2, simple, easy. 2 wingers, 2 strikers. The old butter, Chris. Yeah, I mean, I played 8 years at Middlesbrough and always had a striking partner and it was always 2 up top. And it's still 11v11, same size of pitch, same size of goals. Why does nobody play 2 up top? Why are they convinced that the number 10 is the only way you can do it and play football? Don't get it. I don't get it. And see, everybody does it. We're just sheep-like figures. What's going on with the goal kicks? I saw Sheffield United do the same too. Oh, do you know what, mate? I've stopped even talking about goal kicks and defending them. Really, it's the same old. Years ago, you get the ball done, just launch it. Or the fullbacks got it, they'll look for a pass. If it wasn't on, launch it. I don't mean launch it willy-nilly and don't put a name in the ball, but up at the flanks, I don't mean down the throats of the centre-backs, because they're big, hairy-ass centre-backs. In the main, they're going to win it. especially if you get Latty Laugh and Conway up front, or Azaz. None of them. Latty Laugh's fairly tough, but he's still not a big commanding figure. These big centre halves just food and drink for them. But if you put it down the flanks, it's a different ball game. Was it Alan Ball who was the first player to wear coloured boots? Well, Colin, the lad asked the question. I had to go to George Best in purple boots. You were right, it was Alan Ball, white boots. He called Craig Johnson the kangaroo in the car park. He used to hide from Big Jack. Yeah, well, Hodgie called him Roo. That was his nickname, Roo. R-O-O, Roo. Kangaroo, obviously. But you're allowed to say that these days? Yeah, surely. Roo, come on. Colin says, when I played in the Sunday League, when I was a young lad, I wore black Patrick leather football boots. I remember them. They helped me score lots of goals from midfield. They didn't make you score, Colin. Your feet made you score. The boots just gave you protection. It was you that scored the goals, not the boots. They protected your feet for you to score. Leslie says, have you seen the Andy Gray and Richard Keys interview about the time at Middlesbrough? Amazing and funny. It's on YouTube, and it's all about when he was practicing in the car park scoring goals. He actually said the FA Cup final goal versus Everton was made in a car park at Middlesbrough. So you're talking about Craig Johnson. So Andy Gray, Richard Keys, according to Leslie, it's on YouTube. You can see Craig Johnson. I heard Craig Johnson get a ball and just kept practicing heading it off the wall at Erson Park. Matt Proctor said, well, David Hodgson, Pally with Matt Proctor, both of them told me, Hodgie today, Prop over the years, that Craig Johnson, even when it was snowing, would melt all the snow, run over the pitch with the ball for a couple of hours before official training. He was absolutely dedicated to becoming a footballer, and obviously done it. He went to Liverpool, won a few trophies and league titles. Craig Johnson, he used to drop me home many times from training. Yeah, Craig Johnson used to live in the borough, didn't he? I heard he used to have a rabbit in his front window. A rabbit. Do you know the last time I seen Craig Johnson? Well, I went to his house to do the interview many years ago. Then I, where did I see him? I seen him in Italia 90. I was with the Republic squad in Italy for the World Cup finals. And we got knocked out against Italy. Scalacci, the lad who passed away recently, God rest him, he had scored, put us out of the competition. We all went back to the hotel and we were flying back to Dublin the next day for a civic reception. I think there was 750,000 people lined the streets of Dublin. No, there was. I don't think there was. Anyway, yeah, Craig Johnson came to, the lads all had a drink, had barrels of Guinness shipped in or flown in. Big Jack was singing. You see it on Jack's, God rest him, Jack Charlton's DVD, Finding Jack. Great. If you've not seen it, try and get it on YouTube. Finding Jack, amazing, inspirational, sad, funny. But anyway, after that, knocked out, Scalacci scored the goal. All the Guinness came in to the hotel, and Craig Johnson was doing Australian TV, and he was in there taking all these shots for the Australian TV. That was one of the last times I've seen Craig Johnson. And I'll tell you who was singing that night, Lady in Red, Chris de Burgh. He turned up. Because I'd went to bed with Alan McLaughlin, God rest him. Me and Alan were roommates. We went to bed about 2 in the morning. A lot of the lads stayed up, and all of a sudden we hear Lady in Red, and we're thinking, is that the record playing? Is he down there? And we looked down, and Chris de Burgh was there. But Craig Johnson also met him in London in the, what was it called? It was a five-a-side tournament, 10 minutes. It was a five-a-side tournament, and Craig was heavily involved in that as well. He's done well, Craig Johnson. I like him. Craig actually says in that interview on YouTube, play footy with the scruffy kids outside Erson Park. Says it all in that interview on YouTube. You should watch it, Bernie. I will indeed, Leslie. Have you ever tried getting Paul Merson on podcast? I don't think he would ever agree though. Daniel Richards. Daniel, I've interviewed Paul Merson twice. Borough TV, he was my very first interview. Borough TV, believe it or not, we've not got any television platform now. Loads of clubs have. We were the very first, me and Ali, God rest him, we were the very first guys in Middlesbrough Football Club, along with NTL at the time, were the first club to have their own television programme. Middlesbrough. Now we've not got one. We did have one. So Paul Merson was the very first interviewed. I've interviewed them all. Mannion, Goodressam, Wolf Mannion, George Hardwick, Ravanelli. I've interviewed them all. Brian Robson, you name them, I've interviewed them. Now we've not got a channel. Paul Merson was the very first. I'll tell you where I done it. I done it at Tall Trees. It's no longer there. The nightclub stroke hotel. That was the very first interview I did. Paul Merson was dressed up like a turkey. He had this shiny, silvery top on. And it felt like the stuff you put on I'm vegan, so I don't want to get into detail, but you know what I mean. He just looked like strange. But I did him there, and then when he went to Aston Villa, I interviewed him again. So I've interviewed Paul Merson, but Paul Merson's those people that keep getting them to do's up this neck of the woods and didn't turn up. I got roped in not so long ago. There was a big do. Was it the Globe? No, it wasn't the Globe. Whatever it was it Billingham? Paul Merson was doing it with Gary Pallister, Craig Hignett. I'm up in the hills walking the dogs. This was a few months ago. And I get back, I've left my phone in the car, and I get back to the car, my phone's there, and I've missed loads of calls for Higgy and Pally. Phones them back. Oh, Paul Merson's not turned up, can you fill in? So they're my pals, and I went. Paul Merson never turned up, and I had to, I was like Superman, ready in 20 minutes in Billingham and on stage talking. So, yeah, if you see you're going to do something, you should fulfill it. If you ever try getting, yeah, so I've answered that. I was just about to ask what happened to Borough TV. Steve, well, Borough TV was a great gig. I thought, as I say, it was the first channel that any football club was tied to. Me and Ali launched it, and it was every week. It was on every Thursday. Ali would go to training ground, chat to Brian Robson or whoever before that. Interviews, talk about the games, show clips of games. I would have my say. Had a few fallouts along the way as expected because of my opinion. And then I did what they call Bernie's About every week, which was brilliant. You know, I went to Rome to interview Ravanelli. I was meant to go to Spain to interview Janino. I ended up doing a McCrathon. My flying phobia at the time, it's no longer there. I ended up doing a McCrathon, but I was meant to go to Spain to interview Janino. I went to, I remember doing Big Emerson. He was playing for Deportivo La Coruña. They were playing Leeds United. I went to interview him. So, done them all. Loved it. The late great Brian Clough, you can see that on YouTube if you look through. Gaza, Michael Beck, everybody. Last year I did Chuba Akbom. The modern players, some people say, why don't you do the modern players? Well, the modern players, you have to go through the club. Even if they're 30, you still have to go through the club. I can't really be bothered going that route. And do you know what? The modern players, nothing to say. They've got loads to say when they're finished, but when they're in there, I would have it. Either have been still with me. Nobody does. If I wanted to do an interview, no matter what age, and I wanted to do it, I'd do it. I heard the cattle when they've stopped me. But in the modern world, you have to get through the club. You have to get him to sanction it. He agrees. Don't ask this, no. So, yeah, nothing to say, modern players. When they're finished, loads to say. Nice to know. Like me trainers, Bernie. Oh, Ian Mogi. Sorry, Ian, I've probably read that wrong. Ian came to a do when I did Ian Baird, and he was a great talker, by the way. No met him for years, Birdie. Great striker, tough as all boots. He came to the Birdcage, and then he came to the game on a Saturday, and we met Ian, and Ian had these shoes that gets designed personally, and I had 86 team on the names and 40s of the players and that. Brilliant. He's got a few pair. Massive Borough fan, big Ian. I love the outtakes video of you and Ali. Very funny. Oh, there was a few outtakes, Daniel. Dear me. I remember Ali dressed up as John Hickton. He had a Highland jig on, wig, shots up his backside, running for the halfway and going to have a shot. Because he used to reckon, and it's a myth, John Hickton used to run for the halfway line to score a goal for the penalty spot. I interviewed John. He's another one I've interviewed. John says a load of rubbish. Time he got, if he went to the halfway line to the penalty spot, the time he got there, he'd be knackered. I agree with him. I know you game, Bernie, finishing shortly watching Rangers or maybe Man United. Do you know what? I'm not a bigot. I'm not biased. I watch football. I've watched Rangers in Europe. I've watched Rangers several times. So my mates are Rangers fan. But tonight I'm going to watch Man United. And I would have watched Rangers if they were the only game on. I'd watch them. I'm watching Man United because I'm intrigued with Fenerbahce because the coach is Jose Mourinho. And I'm intrigued. So you've got two coaches. Are they managers? Coaches. One's no personality. One's loaded with personality. I heard that Ten Hag, who's one of the most boring managers I've seen in front of cameras. I heard him saying, going into the game tonight, well, we have won medals. We've won. You've won too. Jose's won about 42. He would sort of put himself in the same bracket as Mourinho. Mourinho's a serial winner. Mourinho's got what a lot of guys in football's not got. He's got charisma, panache, warmth, personality. You can't buy that. You've either got it or you've not. Mourinho's got it in abundance. People say he's a dinosaur. Then what a load of old junk. Give him the right players, the loads of money. He'll do the business. Don't get me wrong. His football. Sometimes you think, dear me, that's drivel. You expect more, but he still wins trophies. You're probably getting battered on Sunday if it's away. Oh, Chris, don't start that one. St. Bernie, I watch whoever is playing on the day night when there's nothing else on. Yeah, as I say, I'm a footballing fan. No matter who it is, I'll watch them. Rangers, Celtic. I was going to say Hamilton Accies. I wouldn't have stood that long. No, I'm only joking. No, I'm not trying to fix with football. If it's a nice day and it's a Sunday and there's a big game on, I'll think I'm going to enjoy the sunshine, take my dogs out, go for a coffee, and I'll watch it later. Don't forget, these days you can be anywhere in the world, any time in the world, and still see the game over again. I welcome one Bernie Joseph Slavin, but I feel we have been here before already this season. The cup run coincided with this, he said Paul McLean, which is a long one, so I'll read it. The cup run coincided with an upturn in our form last season. This season we binned it off after beating Leeds. Waste of time. We are hopeless in taking our chances. This needs to change as soon as possible. Our goal chance ratio 8's absolutely shocking. We also missed a leader on the pitch in my eyes. I mentioned that last night to my pals. It was John Henry and Matt Proctor, and I asked them outright when I was chatting to them doing an interview, have we a leader? And the reply was no. That's what I've seen. Hopefully Morris will grow into this, like a Barry Robson. If he does that, it'd be very good. Let's see, Grant. We simply need to start putting a winning run together, especially looking at the next 5 teams. I totally agree. 11 games. Well, won 5, lost 4. The other ones were drew. Yeah, we need to put a run together. We need to get more consistent. For me to succeed now, Michael Carrick, keep the same team, ban injury, providing the winning and doing the business, and let it roll. And let them become a bond and telepathic and build the confidence right up. Strikers get back scoring goals. This consistent chopping and changing, it works for Man City, but again, we're not Man City. So I would just like to see a settled team, players playing their rightful positions. And I still don't know if Carrick knows his best team yet. Maybe that's where we are at the minute. But 11 games, and I always say 14 games, you get an idea. So that's where we are. I'll read a couple more and that's just finished. I'm sorry about these. I will read them out. I'll be back again in Sunday's game, innit? Norwich, I don't even know if it's a 3. If it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, I'll be on between 5 and 6. We'll have a look. John Henry's birthday today. Is it Colin? Never mentioned it last night. I'll need to text him. 2-2 Man United. Leslie's going for a 2-2. I don't watch none of them. Haha. Fickle. John Henry. Happy birthday, Henry. Don't forget John Henry I played with. John Henry's from Glasgow. He's a Celtic fan, boyhood heroes. He's a great lad. He was a great player. Scored arguably one of the greatest ever goals at Ayresome Park. Scored the last goal at Ayresome Park. But his goal against Millwall, he scored, which a lot of people says was the best goal they've ever seen. When he ran from the 18-yard box on the right, ended up centre of the opposing box and put it in. Some run. Apart from the money, do you think you'd enjoy playing modern football, Bernie? There's not many poachers around these days. That's from, is it Capio? And would you play Like Laugh on Sunday or still keep? I would play Like Laugh Saturday after scoring. What was I going to say? What was that first one? No, I'd be honest. you mentioned money. Of course, I'd want 30 grand a week. I'm going to be on here with her. No, seriously. Money wise, everybody. Money's never been my god, but money's not. So yeah, for the money, yeah. But I would not enjoy playing the modern game, and the reason being is you're in and out the team. It's the whole package now. You can play 3 and score 2 and be out for 2 games, and then you're back in, and then you're rested. In my day, you were dropped. These days, you don't get rewarded for doing well. I could score a hat-trick last night and be rested on Saturday. I couldn't buy into that. That'd infuriate me. So the answer is, for the money, without a shadow of a doubt, no, you've not to debate. But I wanted to play every week. I looked something the other day. I'm 40 years, and I'll tell you what, I'll let it out. I'm just going to, next October, this is October, I've been putting a few things out for scrapbooks. I've got loads of them. That was somebody else's idea about scrapbooks. I started buying into it. Next October, I'm 40 years in Teesside. I'm having a do. I'll give you details down the line. But that's a long time, 40 years. But the first 4 years, I never missed a game. 4 years. Now I'd rather be remembered for 4 years and my goals and my loyalty than have all the money in the world when these guys, a lot of them, come to Middlesbrough, rip us off, bought loads of money, and you say their name 10 years down the line, they go, who? Who's that? Who are you talking about? Honestly, hand in hand, I'd rather be remembered for being loyal, getting promotion, scoring a few goals, and we made a living. So, yeah. Listen, we've overshot the runway. Why was it like landed in the moon? Why was it, what was it like, I think it means. You landed on the moon when you came to Teesside. Why was it like landing in the moon? No, I describe it when I do talks. It was like landing in the moon. I come off the train, it was October time. Just getting into the winter. It was dark, it was misty. Loads of smog. Cooling towers, I was looking off the train. I just thought I'd landed in the moon. I'm still here, so I must enjoy something. I do enjoy it. I enjoy the people and the fabric at Teesside. The hard-working mindset. But yeah, I thought I'd landed in the moon. Can you imagine I'm on the train, I'm coming from City of Culture, Glasgow. Never been away from Glasgow, despite being 24. I'm coming in, I've jumped a couple of trains, I'm coming into Teesside. I'm looking out, there's these big cooling towers with all this smog and shit flying out the chimneys, and thinking, what is this? And it's raining. And I was to meet the chief scout, Barry Gill, that could rest him underneath the railway station. The water's running down the wall. The first bird that meets a prostitute. I'm thinking, what is this? Anyway, still here, so I must love it. Spot on, Bernie, adopted Teessider. Listen, I love it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be here. I could move. I love the people. I love the background. I love the history. I was talking today, David Hodgson again, just quickly. So David Hodgson, one of the guys I spoke to sell me Middlesbrough, when I was coming and going to sign, was Bobby Murdoch. Bobby Murdoch went to church. We call it chapel, went to church. His mother went to church in Glasgow with my mother, my late mother. And my mother came in this night and says, I'll tell you, I've just been talking to Bobby Murdoch's mother. Here's his number. Give him a phone because he managed Middlesbrough and coached at Middlesbrough. He'll tell you how good it is. And I was thinking, although I'm 23, 24, I'm thinking, Bobby Murdoch, Celtic legend, European Cup winner 67. I can't phone him. Guy like me for the Bronx of Glasgow, the Council Estates, whatever. I'm not phoning him. And my father went, give him a phone, man. So I got the bottle. Hiya, Bobby, it's Bernie Slavin. I know you don't know who I am, but I got your number. My mother gave me, your mother passed it on. Hope you don't mind me phoning. I heard you managed Middlesbrough, coached there, played there under Big Jack. What was it like? And he bummed it up. Lovely people, working class background. You'll enjoy it. Go and give it your all. And everything he says was right. And as I say, 40 years this time next October. 40 years in Teesside. Wow. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry, I've not read any of these out. I'll read them out on Sunday if they're still valid. And then I'll be back Monday. Total BS podcast and Trevor Putney part 2. But today I did David Hodgson, that'll be coming on down the line. I did Terry Bywater recently, Paralympian, won loads of medals. He's an interesting character and some great stories. And Yeah, influential. So listen, thank you very much. Well done, Michael Carrick. Well done, the Borough last night. Fans were great as well. Great to get back on track. Let's hope we can do the business against the old Canaries. Stuff the Canaries. I want to see the headline on Monday. Borough stuff the Canaries. Thank you very much. Up the Borough. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers.